Welcome to my EDBE 8P73 course reflection. To start off, I'll talk about my course experience. Over the last several weeks, I have learned a lot and developed my many skills in the ICT for Teaching and Learning Intermediate Senior course. I found that all of the instructions were very clear, and I benefited greatly from the week-to-week structure of this course. I found that the instructional portion of this course during our synchronous MS Teams meetings was very well structured and encouraged a lot of collaboration and cooperation amongst teacher candidates. I greatly enjoyed working with different teacher candidates as they provided me with a variety of perspectives. Additionally, I found that this course introduced me to a wide array of digital teaching resources, tools, applications, and more. Next, I'll talk about how this course helped me develop my TPAC and digital competence. In week 4, we discussed various multimedia and digital resources such as videos, podcasts, memes, games, simulations, virtual field trips, and more. During this class, we took part in 2 activities where we were separated into breakout rooms where we had to research a multimedia tool and a digital resource that we could use in our classroom and discuss how we could use it and questions we might ask before using it, while using it, and after using it. Furthermore, we needed to discuss some of the considerations we should implement when choosing and using multimedia resources and digital tools. These 2 activities advanced my TPAC and digital competence as they introduced me to some new resources that I could use and got me to reflect on how they should be used and some of the considerations that I might need to have when trying to implement them in my classroom. For instance, if a student who is visually impaired, I need to make sure that I make appropriate accommodations for them, such as closed captioning or other auditory aids. In week 5, we discussed digital assessments, what they might look like, how they might be used, and some of the barriers we might face with assessment using digital technologies. This session was very beneficial to me as it introduced me to more resources that I could use for digital assessment. Furthermore, this session advanced my TPAC and digital competence as it showed me what some of the benefits and drawbacks of digital assessment could be. For instance, with digital assessment, students are better able to receive timely and constructive feedback, and assessments can be differentiated easily as digital assessments can be multimodal. Digital assessments are also often creative and engaging, as we can see with gamified assessments. On the other hand, as a teacher, we need to be aware of the barriers that come with digital assessment, such as connectivity issues and how cognitively loaded the assessment might be. Lastly, in week 6, we discussed the various uses of artificial intelligence in education. One topic that stood out to me was how AI can be used for lesson planning. During this session, we did an activity where we used ChatGPT or EduAid to create a lesson plan that we would then revise, edit, and finalize. I found this activity to be especially useful in developing my TPAC and digital competence as it showed me how I can use AI as a tool to help create lesson plans, especially when I inevitably face a creative block and struggle to come up with an authentic assessment. Tools like ChatGPT can be a great starting point to build off of, but it's important to remember that an AI generated lesson plan will always need revision and tweaking, as it will never be perfect for your particular classroom situation. Now I'm going to talk about some of the benefits from this course. Throughout this course, I feel that one thing that benefited me most was the wide variety of digital resources featured in each course session that I could use in my classroom. Additionally, when we were introduced to many of these resources and tools, we were also given the opportunity to use them ourselves, which really helped me understand what they might look like when being implemented in the classroom. Now, to discuss some of the challenges that I faced in this course. Throughout this course, I faced a limited number of challenges. Overall, I would say the biggest challenge that I faced in this course involved the formatting of Google Sites. I sometimes found it difficult to design some of my pages exactly how I wanted due to the formatting limitations of Google Sites. Lastly, I found I sometimes struggled to stay focused during synchronous Microsoft Teams sessions. Now to talk about the future of education and educational technology. I believe that teaching with educational technology will continue to increase and improve. As new strategies, applications, resources, and tools become available to teachers, they will continue to learn how to implement them most effectively in their classroom. Furthermore, while I do see teaching with educational technology becoming more popular and effective, I still believe that teaching without technology will continue to hold an important place in education. To talk about some of my future aspirations, once I enter the workforce, I aspire to implement educational technology in my classroom in creative and engaging ways. I want to do so in ways that keep students engaged but doesn't take away from the students' learning. As a teacher, it's my job to ensure that students are learning and meeting all of the curriculum expectations. With that being said, I need to ensure that I implement educational technology in such a way that it does not take away from the course curriculum. Lastly, I will talk about my experience in creating this video. I found the process of creating this video to be enjoyable but somewhat tedious. While I didn't exactly find it difficult, I felt that it took me longer than I thought it would. Overall, I enjoyed making the video as it provided me with another opportunity to experience a different form of educational technology for myself.